Captain Awesome Take a Dive, Book Number 4. Chapter 4. Mr. Drools drools again and again. Chocolate chips cookies are the greatest thing since Super Dudes know 243. Agent says his mouth was so stuffed it really sounded like chalk, 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 or fragrant things instead of 240. Charlie understood every word and said, "Yeah, but it sounded like because his mouth was full of chocolate chips cookies too." Agent swallowed. Your mom take a best comic chip cookies in the universe. Only the best for the superhero squad weekly sleepover meeting. Charlie skated, grabbing another cookie stuffed full of the comic goodness. Agent and Charlie plotted out tomorrow adventures. They were going back to the community pools to start swimming lesson. After we learn to dive like fish, Evil wouldn't be able to run, fly, or swim from the Sunnyview superhero squad. Agent says Charlie's dad entered the bedroom carrying the turbo mail with him. "Hi, boys. Excuse the intrusions, hero of Sunnyview," he says. Turbo was pressed against the plastic ball, squeaking at Charlie and Agent. Turbo rolled all the way to the TV room. "Sorry, Dad," Charlie says. "He might hurt some evil outside." "No problem. Your mom's wanted me to remind you that you left the swimming suit outside." "Swimming suits! Only one more day until swimming lesson began," Charlie shouted. "Matey!" Eugene shouted so loudly that Mr. John decided it was time to return to the TV room. He was getting used to herding Matey around the house whenever Eugene was around. Once Mr. John was gone, Agent thought he heard a growl. Maybe Charlie's dad was playing a trick on them. Grrr. There it was again. Agent knew that was no playful dad growl. It was a horrible, slurpy growl of "Mr. Drools!" Agent shouted. "He's back!" cried Charlie. "The swimsuits!" Agent thought immediately. "My Captain Awesome swimming battle suit is hanging outside with Neko Cheeseman's chattel trunk. Sometimes superheroes protect whole town. Other times they protect people. But sometimes superheroes needed to protect their swimming battle suit from the terrible slobber of Mr. Drools. No evil dogs from the Howling Pow Nebula would ruin their swimming lessons. Chapter 5. Everybody into the pool. Why, look, it's Poke Jeans and his friends Murphy John. Ugh. Eugene knew that voice could only belong to one person on the planet, Meredith Mooney. So much for our Meredith-free summer, thought Eugene. "Hi, mine, Meredith," Eugene says, rolling his eyes. Being Meredith, she was, of course, wearing a bright pink swimming suit and matching pink goggles. She probably has Barfy pink slippers and a matching Barfy pink kickboard in her mom's car, Charlie whispered to Eugene. It was the first day of swimming lesson, and Meredith wasn't the only person from Eugene and Charlie class who was learning to swim. Sally William was there too, and Bernie Melnick, and Evan Merson. It was like a regular school day, except instead of homework, there was water. And no desks, of course. Day 6. Bird, tweet, tweet. Eugene knew that sound. It was the whistle of his old me Tad the lifeguard back to Tattletale once more and make sure another kid wouldn't get his super dude's ice pop particulars. What ho, little dude, he says. Welcome to my swim class. Shock, gasped, shock again. Double Deepers is our swim teacher? Charlie nudged Agent. This was badness without any goodness. We're really going to have to watch this guy, Charlie whispered. Tweet. Into the pool, swimmer dudes, Ted says. Splash! Once in the water, the class hung on to the side of the pool and started kicking. That's the way, dudes, Ted says. You're doing awesome. He even had a compliment for Meredith. Goldie kick, dude. It's girly kick. Does the Double Dipper not know that Meredith Mooney is secretly Little Miss Sneaky Pinky, the pinkiest villain in all the school system in the universe and the galaxy? The force of goods could never let Sneaky Pink villains do better, even when it came to the poolside kicking. On land, superheroes were fantastic, but in the water, they must be splash titanic. Little Miss Sneaky Pinky has to be splashed before her show-offness took total control of the swim class and turned everyone into sneaky pink brain zombies. Plus, the Double Dippers needed to know that Captain Awesome and Knuckle Cheeseman were wise to his double agent ways. Agent and Charlie counted 1, 2, 3, meaty. The boys kicked their feet like they were chasing Mr. Droll's water splash. Mr. Droll's water splashed everywhere. They kicked faster, splashed, splashed, and faster, splashed and faster, splashed, splashed. Little Miss Sneaky Pinky swelled like pink villains who do when they got wet, and the Double Dippers ran for cover. Evil is no match for the splashing might of the superhero squad. Charlie, Agent, out of the bowl, Ted yelled. Not cold, dudes. Uncold. Oops. Agent and Charlie climbed up from the pool. I guess swimming lessons are over for today, thought Agents. Dudes, why don't you chill with some doodly times out? Tad suggested. Agent and Charlie headed to the snack bar. They were sure to get double dip when Tad's tattletale to their moms that they were misbehaving at the pool again. But evil had been stopped and covered in water. The super dude's ice pop takers is just what we need, Agent says. Nothing more popular after a hard day of splashing bad guys, Charlie agreed, but the man behind the counter had a different idea. Why don't you boys have swimming healthier? The familiar evil yuck tended. Branded Yuck, the friends gasped. That's right, Dr. Yuck's finished. The evil cracking chief from Sunnyview Elementary Cafeteria was now working at the pool snack shop. That's what he was doing after school. He was getting ready to serve his awful vegetables surprises to all the summer swimmers. He was even wearing his harness. It looked like Evil had a part-time swimmer job. But no one wants to eat their peas or zacket cheese in the summer. On the hot day at the pool. Double yuck. If the evil doctor's finish wouldn't serve Super Dude's ice popsicles to Eugene and Charlie, maybe he'd hand them over to Captain Awesome and Knuckle Cheeseman. Chapter 6. The blob of blobness. Okay, little swimmers, give your swim buddy a high five for the job well done, Ted called out at the end of the next day's lesson. Class is over, so enjoy some pool time until your partner night arrive. Eugene gave Charlie a high five. Not waves or challenge nor popular swimming pool PP will keep us from our goal of becoming the best swimmer in the universe. Those are some meaty kicks you did, Charlie. You too, Eugene, Charlie replied. I think we earned some floating time in the swallow end. Unfortunately, there were only 2 pool noodles. One was blue and the other was gasped, pink, and looked like Mr. Drools has been chewing on it. You take the blue, Charlie. You earned it, Eugene stated. Are you sure, Eugene? We could just sit on the step. No one says being a superhero would be easy, Charlie reminded. Eugene reminded his best friends. Sometimes in the battle for goodness, you just gotta take the pink noodles floaty. Eugene jumped back into the pools and lay across his pink floaty. The water was warm, the sun was warmer, and the young superhero had nothing to do but breathe. There were only 2 words for the day like that. Meaty, Eugene sighed. Actually, it was really only 1 word. But Eugene was a superhero, able to do super things, like make 1 word sounded like 2. Oh, look at the two little babies floating in the swallows and like scaredy babies crying for their mummies, Meredith's annoying voice shouted from across the pool. Charlie sat up and looked around. Who let babies in the pool? Agent didn't answer. He knew very well whom Meredith was calling the baby. The fact that he had chosen the pink noodle floaties didn't help. Agent expected to see Meredith playing in the water next to them. He looked up and that when he saw she was in the deep end. Stay calm. Make no sudden move, Agent whispered. Charlie, this just got serious. What's wrong? You afraid there's a big bad monster in the deep end? Meredith taunted. Why don't you two just stay down there and splash with the other babies? We can't let her talk to us like that. Charlie says. Of course not, Eugene says. She's giving me a great idea. Slap. Eugene and Charlie slapped their hands in the water as hard as they could. Splashed. A big wave of water rolled across the pools and splashed Meredith. Bullseye. Her pinkest pink ribbon washed out of her hair. There was nothing Meredith could do now, so she stuck out her tongue. Not again, Charlie gasped. This time even more, Eugene whispered. Even more? Charlie gasped louder. Wait, even more than what? Even more than last time it was serious, Eugene warned. Wow, this is serious. On the count of 3, I want you to panic as loudly as you can and scream like a jolly squirrel from the Super Dudes. No, 32. Eugene quickly explained, afraid to take his eyes off the mysterious blob down below. 1, 2, panic like a jolly squirrel. Charlie screamed and panic exactly the jolly squirrel. Charlie panic made Eugene's panic. Eugene's panic made Charlie panic even more. And Charlie panics even more panics made Agent panic ever double more. Splash, kick, swims, sleep, sink. That is not a word you want to hear it on your second day of swimming lessons, and probably not even on your third day either. Agent slipped from his floaty. Replied. Agent froze. It wasn't Ted's voice. It was a girl. The pool water cleared from Agent's eyes, and he realized he was holding Sally Williams' hands. Oh man, the only thing worse than being saved by girl is holding her hand afterward. Girl's hands blish. Agent yanked his hands back. I guess we're kinda quailed now since you found Mr. Whiskersworth for me. Yeah, I guess. Agent replied, word limited to as few words as possible. His face was redder than the human potatoes, astra, lusta, pasta sauce that super dudes always brought from his local grocer. Whoa, are you okay, little dudes? Ted asked, rushing over to Agent and Charlie. Agent nodded. Red saved Sally. Ted smiled to Sally and gave her a high five. Don't worry, Ted. I do these kind of things all the time. Sally smiled and high-fived him. Agent raised an eyebrows and snapped a look to Sally. Agent wasn't sure if Sally meant that she saved people all the time or gave high five. The thought of Sally as a hero was a strange one, but it wasn't the strangest thing of all. Who sent the evil, bloody blood from the deep end of Blood Agent? The end. Please subscribe my channel.